Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we look at Fox Spirit Matchmaker episode 16. Now, on one hand, I love the last part of this episode. That whole sequence of events where we had the musical interplay where, Toho made his decision. I mean, obviously it's kind of why this episode's called Toho's decision. To leave the, basically the confines of where he was at with Coco and all of the other Fox Spirits. Was the fact that, he wanted to basically become strong enough to make a name for himself and become the leader of the Yokai Alliance, to become an actual leader, not just a figurehead as some of the other members have. The problem in play, though, this is the thing is that two things hurt this episode in my mind, and, regardless of what you may or may not think about them, it is an issue. The first coming, the comedy aspects near that sequence of events was funny when it first started, before it actually went into that little romantic plot line of sorts. But then after, like immediately after, I'm like, come on, you took away the tension that was from the romance and the drama of it and made it comedic. And that kind of, I mean, I get the whole show has that comedy nature to it, but that killed the scene for me. Like, I was actually feeling bad that here they are parting ways, and then 2 seconds later, it's a joke. I'm like, oh, come on. That killed it a little bit. But, what was interesting, though, is we also see I always forget her name off the top of my head, and I apologize, but as you guys probably by now know, I'm terrible with names anyways. The other Fox Spirit, not Coco, but the other one, we see that she now is obviously the Yokai Alliance of the future, at least. But the problem is that she thinks that she's not a figurehead, but realistically you have to wonder, is she a figurehead? Is it really? So far, if we've noticed, all the groups in this show have been kind of shown different powers. And with the exception of Fuka's past, his group of people, it seems like all the Unification League, for example, and the Yokai Alliance isn't really governed by one body of power, more so than anything else. It looks like there's multiple people in play. So yeah, many ways, whether she wants to believe it or not, she kind of is a figurehead. But the other issue I had with the beginning of the episode comes in the form of having this sequence of events that is essentially just a recap of last week's episode that takes up a decent amount of time. I almost for a second thought I had seen this episode already. And I'm like, why would you do that? I get the purpose of showing it for this, and I know some people might argue with me with this, but I get the purpose of it showing the connection between, obviously, Toho and Kyoko. I get that, or Coco, she may. Because, obviously, and let me correct myself now, because I know I got a lot of flack for it last week. Yes, I understand that I said, he got stabbed in the stomach. It's the stabbed in the heart. I do apologize. There is a symbolism behind that, so it does have a significant value, because it's the heart, obviously, or the chest, I should say. But, it's the thing is that sequence, I get that. That's why it was re-showed again. Like, oh, let's show this again. Let's show the beginnings of where they fell in love, or kind of not even just fell in love, but more so where their connection started happening. But was it necessary? I don't think it was necessary. I feel like it was just a waste of time to re-show that whole sequence of events from last week. If you think about it in the raw sense of it, it's only been a week. You don't need a recap of a sequence like that. It's something that I think pretty much everyone should remember. Him getting into the fight, him being used as basically, getting stabbed in the chest, being able to transfer some of his powers to Kyoko, and us learning about Toho's power in general. That should not have been happening again in this week's episode, and it took too long. Like, it literally, I think, took maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes of the actual episode that could have been used for new content, or to show some of the other stuff that happened in the past, because they did that during the sequence when they were walking past each other. But I'm like, why? It's just, I don't know, that to me kind of ruined the episode. So I was like, this is the weaker episode, I think, out of the whole series so far, at least in terms of the last couple weeks, I should say. Not probably the whole series, but last couple weeks, because the show has been doing a tremendous job of getting better, but this wasn't that great to me. I don't think it's, obviously it's not enough to stop me from watching. I'm still going to watch it, obviously. But it was a weak episode, and I hope no one really gets kind of annoyed with me for saying that. If you have some contradictions, or if you want to counter me, feel free to put in the comments. Just be respectful. I've had a few comments recently, and I'm warning you guys with this. If you get really you say some really cruel stuff or rude stuff, I will just, block that person from contacting me. Because I think I had a few things where some people were saying that you should do it this way or that way. You guys have to understand that I'm a reviewer, that I can only really show my face or show images once in a blue moon. If I show too many images, I can get striked or have any issues with my channel. So I can't do these reviews any differently than how I'm doing them right now. So please understand that, you know, I appreciate the ones that do understand that. I don't really appreciate the ones that don't understand that, because this is the YouTube scape. YouTube is already a kind of finicky thing. People are losing their channels left and right for dumber things. I'm not going to risk my channel to start throwing images of stuff, or putting, as someone told me, to put the anime episode in the review with it to show scenes of it. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. That will get striked immediately, and I will have an issues with it, and I can't fight it because of the fact that it's going to be like that. So just be respectful. If I see any more comments like that, no warning, I'm just going to delete that comment, and if I keep seeing a comment like that, I will block it, that's all. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed the review nonetheless. As always, guys and girls, I have other reviews today to come out, but if you like this one, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, you know the whole nine. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye.